Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're watching The Mandalorian. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are watching episode 2 of season 3 of The Mandalorian. I don't know where we're going. I have no clue. The last episode, it was kind of all over the place. I think it was introducing a lot of different storylines that will end up converging, because that's kind of typically what happens, but it felt like it was all over the place. And while I was happy to be back, I was like, I don't know what our next move is, because we start the episode with him saving the other Mandos from the crocodile thing, and then he's talking to the armorer, and normally he's having something made, or he's having something melted down, or whatever it may be, and that's not the case. It's like he stopped by just to have her tell him what we already knew, is that he still has to go to Mandalore. In order to become a Mandalorian again, he has to find the mines, and he has to bathe in the whatever to then bless himself, which she was then blessing somebody in a lake. So I think it's more ceremonial at this point than actually the waters, unless the waters are magic, and that would be great. I mean, great. Then he's like the Mandalorian, right? But then, he leaves, and I was like, off to Mandalore. Nope, I guess we're going to Navarro. Okay, Navarro's fine. So we get to see Grief Karga, which I was like, do we need to be here? And I don't know if it was to I don't know, because he said that he was there for IG-11, which I don't think bringing back IG-11 is that great, only because he already had a hero's death, and bringing him back doesn't make much sense. Now, they do play it off as well, I need a droid, and I need a droid I can trust, because obviously Mandalore is treacherous, but it's possibility that it could be poisoned. So I guess a droid would help. I don't know if we actually even need IG-11. Okay, so let's bring back IG-11. That's part of the story now. And then we need a certain part to make him because he's not him. And the Anzellians were like, oh, we need this part. And Mando's like, I'll go find it. And then Grief Karga later is like, oh, leave it to the Anzellians. And I was like, so is he going to go get the part? Or are they going to do it? I was very confused as to who was doing what in that scenario. Now, I love seeing the Anzellians. I think I'm saying that right. Anzellans? Asnell? Yeah. No one comes here for facts. Anyway. But so I was like, okay, now we're off to find the parts for IG-11. No, okay, space battle first, which was cool. I don't know if that's going to come back later. I feel like space pirates end up being that thing that turn up somewhere else, and they are a problem. So, Davy Jones's whatever guy face swamp thing in space. I'm sure that's going to come back around. Now, then I was like, okay, now we're off to Mandalore. Nope, we're going to go visit Bo-Katan first, and then say that we're going to join her on her quest to take over Mandalore. He's filling in a lot of dates on his calendar that I don't think he can keep those promises. Okay, I'm going to get a part and I'm going to bathe in the waters of Mandalore. But after Bo-Katan saves Mandalore, and now he has the dark saber, and so when he says to her I have to go to Mandalore to become Mandalorian again, she's just go here, it's under the city center, da da da. And then she's like, goodbye, Din Djarin. And I'm like, I feel like that information isn't good. I feel like she wasn't being genuine, and I feel like it's a trap. So I don't really know what we're going to do, because in order for him to go to Mandalore, I think he needs a droid. So if he goes to Mandalore and he doesn't have a droid, did he actually need IG-11 to begin with? I don't know. I don't know. But I do know that Grogu saw the space whales. That was super exciting, because in Rebels, I was just again, I always say this about Dave Filoni and his animated features, is that there are no filler episodes. And in Rebels, they had the whole episode with these whales, and I know I should probably use their name, but I can never remember it. But then they end up playing a huge role at the end of the series, and you're just like, oh my god, it came back. And so it was really nice to see them featured in this, obviously because of Ahsoka and Ezra and Grand Animal Thrawn. All those stories are going to converge. I'm excited about that. Just, a little bit more from Grogu. Just anytime you get Grogu, whether it's shenanigans, whether he's using the Force and he's kind of learning something about himself, or, he's kind of like the first time Mando says his name and he's like, Goo. Yeah, like it's the cutest thing in the world. And like, you know, like he learned some stuff when he was with Luke. Apparently that was 2 years. So he's possibly got some tricks that we don't know about, that Luke probably taught him, or that he's learned over time. But like, I feel like he learned everything in like a day that we saw in Boba Fett. And then he was like, oh, I want to be with Mando. It seemed like he wasn't really picking up on stuff. So if he was there for 2 years, I don't know. Maybe he didn't learn anything. But I'm excited to find out what's going to happen in this episode and what direction we're heading. Like I said, I really liked the first episode. I just, like, it didn't really tell me much of, like, the general direction where we needed to head. And now I would really like to get to Mandalore. I'm dying. I want to get to Mandalore. I know that there's probably, or you know, side missions. We got to go to Tatooine first. We have to do this. We have to do that. And that's fine as long as I know that the quest is Mandalore, not to get a part, then to get a droid, then to go to Mandalore. Like tell me what's happening. So that's all. That's all. No big deal. Okay, guys. Whew. Let's get into it.
Songs of eons past foretold of the mythosaur rising up to herald a new age of Mandalore.
Why are they bringing up the mythosaur?
I am going to Mandalore.
That planet has been ravaged, plundered, and poisoned. There's nothing left.
Probably not. Yeah, that's the one thing that I remember about Bo-Katan and Sabine and Satine. Like well, I guess not Sabine, but Sabine with the Darksaber, but like with Satine. Oh, sister story. Still hard for me to talk about. Where are they? Is this Tatooine? Where is this? Tatooine indeed. Sup, girl?
Fine, I'll push you back out in the street. You heard him. Pit droids!
No. Is she hustling him? Did she have the parts taken out?
Is he gone? Hey, tell the Jawas the Rodian left.
I knew it.
So where's my guy? There he is!
Oh! Okay.
Who taught you how to leap like a lerman, huh? Was that his first word?
Was it?
Which is why I think you should buy this beauty here.
It's got a bad motivator.
I need a droid that can explore ahead of me and test the atmosphere. Make sure it's safe to breathe.
Okay.
Smart.
Hey, get right back here, scaredy droid. Come on now, you gotta shine.
Get the gonky in the back. Oh no.
Oh, come on now, don't be a coward. You're an astromech, act like one.
Hustler. Absolute hustler.
May the force be with you!
I love it. I was wondering what this scene was with the fireworks. The Mines of Mandalore. Fantastic. Off to Mandalore. I know where we're going. I'm happy.
It looks scary, I know. But it was once green and beautiful. Back when the songs were written. And that's Kalevala, where we visited Bo-Katan.
Bo-Katan's gonna show up, probably. It still kind of looks green. Let's get below the clouds before I hold that opinion. We're going to Mandalore! Ooh. Oh, the music is fantastic. Eerie.
From the surface, we won't be able to communicate with anyone out of atmosphere, so we have to be careful. Down here, we're completely cut off from the rest of the galaxy.
Use the Force, Grogu. Communicate that way. So I'm sure something's gonna go wrong.
R5, you ready? That wasn't a question.
Get to it, droid. Are all astromech droids nervous? Like, they always have that little...
You can watch him on the scope.
Oh.
R5. Come in, do you read me? I'll pressurize my helmet, seal yourself in your pod. Be right back.
Interesting. I didn't know he could do that. I guess him being in the water, he could still breathe, so that makes sense. But it's really interesting to know that that's how the helmet works. Okay. Tense music. Very tense. It scared me. Ah! What are these? Ugh. So still having a hard time with the darksaber, I see. Oh. And you walked into their home. Just saying. You are very brave, R5. Is the air okay?
The charts were wrong. The atmosphere is breathable. Bo-Katan was right. Mandalore is not cursed.
Yeah, you can't really believe in curses, but like he also believes that the living waters is going to make him a Mandalorian again, instead of just being one. I know this is filmed in the volume, and I'm not too much of a fan of the volume anymore, especially after Andor, but this set is really gorgeous.
This is where Bo-Katan said to go.
Which I still think is a trap. I forgot. He had the jetpack on. I was like, dang, bold. Aww. So cute that they can fly together. I hear water. Is it the living waters? Oh.
These waters should flow down to the mines and the living waters within.
Look like ROUS's, but with green eyes.
Look, that passage heads down.
The deeper he goes, the bigger the beast is that he's gonna have to fight, I'm sure. Oh, it's a helmet. Jesus! Oh! What is that? Grogu, what you doing, buddy? You gonna help? That thing is creepy. I don't like bugs, and I don't like spiders, and I don't like robots that look like either one of those things. Incidentally enough, though, I do like crabs. Oh my gosh. Is that more helmets? That's a lot of helmets. Grogu, save your daddy. I mean... Is there something alive in there? Oh, hi. You're not alive, but you're definitely a droid. It's like kind of a grievous thing happening there. This is not going to help Mando's like issue with droids whatsoever. Well, go save him, kiddo. I never get over how cute he is. Even when Mando's in peril, he's still adorable. Although I feel like he could have flipped and got over there. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy.
Get to Bo-Katan.
He's gonna leave Mando? Is she gonna do? How is she gonna understand Grogu? Oh goodness. Oh. Okay, not a rodent of unusual size. A winged crocodile? What is up with crocodiles in this show? Crocodile look. I remember that from the trailer. Oh, he's remembering. He's gonna just go, droid, go. Look at Grogu's real first solo mission.
Your Majesty.
Girl, she's just sitting around feeling sorry for herself.
Let's get rid of him once and for all.
How about no? How about no? How about no? So the one thing about Bo-Katan is like she needs to like learn to control that rage.
What happened to him?
Thank you for your concern.
Download the astromech, find out where they were.
That's what I wanted to see. Oh, cool ship. Oh, she's gonna go back to Mandalore. Look at her smiling. I'm so excited to get more with Bo-Katan. And she's smiling. Like a semi-happy Bo-Katan. The sulking part, it needs to end.
I'm gonna need you to guide me to him. Can you do that?
Him like communicating with people is actually really cool. Yes, girl. I never get tired of seeing her helmet. Brings tears to my eyes. I have to stop. Okay. Why does she keep her hair so perfect under the helmet?
This was once a beautiful civilization. My family ruled it all. Now it's a tomb.
So cool that they keep doing that. No fear. They're just like, well, here we go.
I know that you're frightened, but I need you to guide me to him.
It's our brave boy. God, I just love him. I don't even know if he's a boy. Grogu seems like a boy name, I guess. So ready to see her in action. Oh.
Did you think your dad was the only Mandalorian?
I mean, it's the only one he knew.
If they survived, I wonder what else might have too.
The mythosaur that they were talking about in the beginning, maybe? Ah. Is he taking blood out of him? He is. Oh, that ain't right. Maybe not blood, but whatever he needs to keep his shield on. Come on, girl. Easy work.
Can you hear me?
Uh-oh.
It's Bo-Katan. I'm gonna get you out of here, alright? Can you move?
Oh, God. Robots that look like bugs. Gross.
Behind you.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about the big thing. So cool! Like midnight for real this time, right? So excited to see her wielding the darksaber.
What happened?
I saved your life. Your kid. He's tougher than he looks. And he's quite the navigator.
Thank you for rescuing me.
Now it's destroyed. Nothing to cling to but ashes.
You gotta take
What
your
is
helmet
this?
off.
I honestly think that it's adorable that you actually believe these children's stories. But there's nothing magic about the waters.
But what if there is?
I will take you.
To the living waters.
Yes.
Thank you.
Don't thank me until you see them.
Oh, that's not good. Are we actually gonna see the living waters?
Your father sounds like an interesting man. I would have liked to have known him.
He was a great man. He died defending Mandalore.
This is the way.
I'm sure that didn't bring her any comfort.
What are you looking at?
He's so observant.
Here you go. The living waters.
Not how I pictured it.
According to ancient folklore, the mines were once a mythosaur lair. Mandalore the Great is said to have tamed the mythical beast.
Are we gonna see a mythosaur? I'm so excited. They better not let me down. This means a lot to him, so it means a lot to me. Even if she doesn't believe.
I swear on my name and the names of the ancestors that I shall walk the way of the Mandalore, and the words of the creed shall be forever forged in my heart.
Unless that was a drop-off, he got pulled under. And in the living waters. Oh, that works underwater? That's awesome. Oh my god, does the mythosaur have him? Just remember Boba Fett riding a dinosaur in a cartoon, so that's what I'm hoping. Oh god. These shots of not being able to see what's in front of you. Oh, hi buddy! Yeah! Oh my god! You believe now, Bo-Katan? Oh, man. Good job, Rachel. Good job. I have to look at all the art, because I have to see if it translates. Oh. I like that version better than what we actually got, if I'm being honest. I'm so glad they're crediting the stunt doubles. Or actually the guys that are like wearing the mask when Pedro isn't. Okay, that's what I pictured the living waters looking like, where there's like a glow to it. Okay, so the thing that I was complaining about at the beginning, I love when we actually get to where we say we want to go. Now, everything that happens after that, like, is kind of up in the air. But we knew that we wanted to get to Mandalore. We knew we wanted to get to the living waters. I can't believe we saw a mythosaur. Oh man, I'm glad Bo-Katan saw it. You know, like, she's watching Din like walk into the living waters, and of course she doesn't believe in this creed and the religion and, you know, just the power of the living waters, and it's so important to him, and it doesn't actually even matter if it does anything. He believes that it does. And her seeing the mythosaur, I think, is like kind of eye-opening for her to kind of just go like, okay, well, that's like one part of it that might be true. So like, what other parts may also be true? I loved watching her wield the darksaber. I'm not quite sure what that droid was doing. Like, I don't know if I don't know what the fluid was that it was extracting from him, because it didn't look like blood when it was filling up. It looked like the liquid that was in his helmet, or whatever the thing was. It was an eyeball that was in fluid. That's about it. Contact solution. I don't know. But whatever he was taking from Din, first of all, creepy, but like her like wielding the dark saber and slaying each time and making it look so easy. Like, you know, we saw, I keep wanting to call him Mando. I'm going to just have to start calling him Din, but we saw Din wielding it and he was still struggling. He was still having a hard time. And I'm not going to remember their names I want to say Andorians. That is not correct. But they look like, maybe I'm mistaken about where this could be from, but they kind of look like the things that were from, is it the Time Machine? But it was like the old movie. I want to say it was like Time Machine or something like that. But it like looked like creatures from that, or like, you know, from like the like 1960s like Star Trek stuff. It wasn't great. I think that the art visualization looked so much better. But you know, what we got is what we got. I'm not going to hang my hat on it and say that the season's horrible, because those things looked weird. But the crocodile things with the wings looked pretty cool. Sufficiently scary. And then like the mythosaur, even though you just saw like the face, but you saw the reason like why like their whole emblem is the mythosaur skull. But you know, seeing Din struggle still to wield the darksaber, if you know anything about the lore of the darksaber, there's a reason why. And watching Bo use it just so fluidly, just with absolute ease. She is one with the darksaber. I love that she was talking to Grogu about the Jedi and how they worked side by side because of her sister Satine and her relationship with Obi-Wan. Like Clone Wars, and I could just like start crying. Like I just, and you still see it like in Rebels, you know, you have Sabine working with Ahsoka and trying to find Ezra, and then, you know, Sabine being with Ezra and with Kanan, you know, like it's still like there's still a piece there. It's just, I'm not sure when it split. Maybe we'll get a background and a history on that. Maybe I don't know the full story of The Mandalorian, and which is why I'm so happy that there's this show and that we're actually delving into Mandalorian history. And I was just kind of like, when she's just sitting there on her throne, just brooding, I was like, I don't want her to just be like this disgruntled person the entire time. And when she charged out to just be like, let's get rid of him once and for all, I was like, what are you going to do? And I'm glad that like easily, like, I feel like anytime somebody sees Grogu, they melt and they're like, what's going on? What can I help you with? You know, like that little guy just gets everybody's heart just warmed, and like him trying to talk to people, and actually kind of like sputtering things. Like I'm waiting for the day he actually says something. I think it might be Dad, Din, this is the way. May the force be with you. And it's like really interesting that like when Bo-Katan was talking about her father dying for Mandalore, that, you know, Din just stops and looks at her and is like, this is the way. And it's like, that's, you know, that's what they do. That's that lifestyle. That's who the Mandalorian are. And so he died doing what the Mandalorian do. I'm sure that brings her absolutely no comfort in that moment. It actually looked like she was somewhat annoyed, and then she just looks at Grogu. It's just like, what are you looking at? I think it's great that she like flew in to save the day, watching her like discover Mandalore and seeing it for what it is, and just I mean like that the whole thing had to be traumatic because she saw it at its, you know, highest points, and now to see it where it is now, and it's desolate and it's destroyed and it's decayed. But the fact that it's livable, I would love to see Mandalore restored. Just and like she obviously wants to see the Mandalorian people back together instead of fighting each other, or, you know, like the people that were with her that are, you know, off scavenging or whatever it is that they're doing, being mercenaries. I think she would be a fantastic leader, as long as she doesn't like do that thing where she like kind of gets a little grumpy. I think that might be the right word, where she just sits and has a pity party, and it's like, girl, if you want to be a leader, you can't just sit there and have a pity party. So I'm glad she got knocked out of that funk. It took Grogu. And I'm glad that like the last episode kind of more things came together of like him looking for the part for IG-11, getting R4, which I was just like, I don't know. I don't know if you can depend on that. And anytime that we get to go back to Tatooine and visit our friend there, I always forget her name. She even said it this time and I'm still forgetting it, but Amy Sedaris. Yeah, anytime we get to visit her, it's always kind of a kooky time. And the interaction with the Jawas, it's like I don't want to say that they're more humanized, but like they're more normal. Like they're not like this mystery thing that you're just like, oh no, it's the Jawas. It's like, hey, it's the Jawas. Like, and as soon as she like was just like, oh, you're missing parts, I was like, she had those taken off the ship. Like, so I wonder if he's going to be going back to Tatooine at any point in time. Like, we don't always have to go to Tatooine. If that was the last time we visit Tatooine, that'd be great. Let's go to different places. Let's spend a lot of time on Mandalore, please. Like, I would really, really like to spend a lot of time on Mandalore, and where it's habitable, but like, it's a mess. I don't know how long they're going to stay there. We still have Mythosaur. We got the whales, and now the Mythosaur. I was like, as soon as they said that in the opening for like the recap, I was just like, why are they saying that? And like, I don't think that like it ruined anything to have it in there, but sometimes people would see that as like a spoiler alert. They're like, well, now I'm going to be expecting it. And like, I totally get it. But like for me, it just made me giddy and eager and I was looking forward to seeing it. So no skin off my back. So now that he's been in the living waters and Bo-Katan has seen a Mythosaur, I wonder if Din was like conscious enough that maybe he saw it. But I don't know what their next step is to rally the troops. Because now he is a Mandalorian once again. I mean, obviously he's going to have to go back and talk to the armorer. I guess, is IG-11 still on the table? Like, do they need to go find that part still? Like, does he still want IG-11 now that he has R4? What was the whole point of trying to fix IG-11 if now he has R4? So I just need things to come together. That's all. And I know it's episode 2, so I mean, if they're not going to come together, give me more of the Mythosaur. It's so cool. So cool. Oh, and I absolutely love that, like, you know, Grogu, he went on his own adventure. He learned how to navigate the ship. And obviously, you know, it's like, oh, that's where Bo-Katan is. Like, that helped. But, you know, it was like really established in the first episode that it's just like a Mandalorian has to know how to navigate the universe. And him just even navigating the moons, I think is like fantastic. It's a first good step. Like, that's the first time behind the wheel. You got to go down to the convenience store and back. So he got his like first like flying lesson by himself. Now he had R4, so he wasn't completely alone. I don't I don't know if he can reach all the controls with his little body, but I know he could just like flick things with the Force. And that was kind of interesting too, is that he was trying to free Din from the little cage that he was in. But like it was almost like he was too frightened to actually summon the Force. But when it came time to like go to Bo-Katan, he's like, nothing's stopping me, you know, get out of here, you, and defeats that creature, which we did see in the trailer. I feel like a lot of the stuff we saw in the trailer was in the first couple episodes. So eagerly anticipating what we see in the rest. Oh, I'm so happy. This show just always brings me delight. Like, it just makes me happy. And I don't need to be watching all the dark and broody stuff all the time, but like, you know, anytime you see Grogu, I just feel better. It's just like a dopamine hit. I love it. And one thing that I will say, and I noticed it in the last episode too, when we had the scenes with Grief Karga outside, it's now I'm very aware now when we are using the volume. And at first, I really love the volume, and I love what you can use with the volume, but I feel like we had Andor that was very much an on-location show, and like you had like these amazing backgrounds, and like the sets were just phenomenal, and then like some of this like felt very fake and forced and like very CG. And it's like really interesting because the first couple seasons, I don't know if I would have been able to point that out. And now I can. Like, it's very obvious when they're on the volume. But neither good nor bad. I just now I'm more aware of it. And I kind of don't like that because it kind of takes me out of the show a little bit. Not enough to say I'm going to stop watching it or that I hate it. Utilize it where you can. Put all the money on the mythosaur and use the volume for everything else. I want to see the mythosaur. Oh my gosh. Din, Bo-Katan, Boba Fett. I don't care what Mandalorian does it. I want to see a Mandalorian riding a mythosaur. Okay, guys, if you want to watch the full-length reaction to this episode, it will be available on my Patreon, as well as full-length reactions to other shows that I have watched in the Star Wars universe, including Andor, Boba Fett, Obi-Wan, as well as The Bad Batch. And I have just recently finished The Expanse, so I will be starting a new sci-fi series soon. I think we're going with Firefly. And then after that, you'll have to go to the poll on my Patreon to vote. But in the meantime, like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. First of all, what do you think about the mythosaur? Second of all, how did you feel about these first 2 episodes, in the sense that, did you feel like the first episode was all over the place and then this one kind of focused in, or is that just me? And I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying that I didn't feel a nice flow. But like, how did you feel about the mythosaur? Because I'm excited. I want to see it again. Do you think we'll see it again? I'm hoping so. Like I said, I want to see somebody ride it. But if I don't, also fine. But I would love to see it again. And maybe because it's called a mythosaur, it should the rest of it should remain a myth. Maybe it's like, no, I've seen the mythosaur, and like that's all we ever see forever. Okay, guys. I'll see ya.